everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be doing books that I will not be reading in 2021. I know, I usually do a lot of TBR videos on this channel, and in the past I've done books that I will be bringing into the new year to read, or books that I'll be bringing to college, but turns out that all of these videos are a curse for the future, because apparently when I post these videos, or whenever I talk a book that I haven't read yet that I want to read, I end up just not being in the mood to read it. I don't know if any of you guys feel the same way, but I just don't end up reading it, and I think it's because I curse myself because I basically like talk about it and hype myself up for it, and then I'm no longer in the mood for it. So all of these books, this is kind of like an unhaul video because I want to tell you guys the books that I will just be skipping out on in 2021. Maybe I'll get back to them in the future, but probably not, since I'm going to be giving away fresh copies of these books, so it's less likely that I'll be purchasing them again. But yeah, just stick along with me. Let me tell you the books that I will not be reading. I'm sorry if some of your favorites are in this video. Don't take any offense to that. It's just books that I have no interest in reading, or just have probably heard so much about that I feel like I've already read the book. And all of these books will be finding new homes in little libraries or in my friends' libraries, because I'm going to be giving some of them away. So anyway, let's get into the video. I haven't really done my research on it yet because I have just been so busy, but yeah, this book is her newest novel, and I'm so excited to get it. Okay, so the first book I have here is The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This book I bought purely because of the hype, also because I had read Nicola Yoon's other book. She was kind of a big author here in like 2016, I want to say, but I remember in BookCon everyone was hyping this up, so I bought a new copy of it, and I was gonna read it, especially because of the representation, but I just waited too long, and I am like no longer interested in YA romances anymore. It's just really not my thing. I really love reading like rom-coms, but I love reading adult rom-coms, especially because I'm like 20, so I no longer find myself reaching for books with characters who are like 18 and younger, because it's just like I just don't vibe with that anymore. But anyway, this book I will be giving a new home. The next book I'm going to be giving away is The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. This book is super interesting because I actually just purchased Emily M. Danforth's newest novel, Plain Bad Heroines, which is an adult novel. This is her YA novel, I believe, and I got sent this actually, so I had never heard about this book before. They were just promoting the movie with Chloe Grace Moretz, and I love Chloe Grace Moretz, and I have yet to watch the movie. I think it's more possible that I'll watch the movie rather than read the book. Also, there's a lot of like queer rep in this. I feel like this could go to someone who like really needs this story, and I'm probably gonna put this in the little library because I would feel that people would take it if the back really resonated with them. So yeah, I'm excited to give this a new home. Okay, so the next book that I have here is All the Light We Cannot See by Doerr. This one you guys have probably all heard of. This was super big on BookTube. I feel like most of these books that I'm talking about here today I bought mainly because of the hype, or because I thought it would make me more popular on BookTube, which now I really don't care. I honestly have read so many books that have just come across my way that I've never heard of before and then end up being my favorites. This is one of those books. This is like historical fiction. I really am not. If there's one genre that I read little of, it is historical fiction, and I think I bought this book to mainly force myself to read more historical fiction, but ended up realizing that I just don't like it. And if you don't like a genre, don't force yourself to read it, unless like your best friend or someone that you really trust like tells you to read a book and you really trust their opinion. And just like that's how I ended up reading Pachinko, which is historical fiction, but I really loved it. But this book on the other hand, I'm not that interested in it. Also, it's a super big book, and I just don't have time for these books anymore, so I will be giving this a new home.
What I have here is This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. I have been wanting to get to this book forever. I have bought it since it came out. Well, actually, this one came on my Owl Crate, but I did buy the Owl Crate, so
Okay, the next book I have here that I'm not reading in 2021, or ever probably, is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I know a lot of you love Victoria Schwab. I actually love Victoria Schwab. One of my best books of 2020 is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And the only reason I'm giving this away or just not reading it in 2021 is because she has a lot of books out right now, V.E. Schwab, and I had to like pick through my collection. I actually still have a lot of books on my shelf that are unread from V.E. Schwab, which is like Vicious, and I forgot some of her other books, City of Ghosts or something. But I had to look through that collection and kind of pick and choose which ones that I wasn't gonna read. read because, I don't know, I don't like reading so much from the same author in the same year. I feel like that's just like author overload, and V.E. Schwab is like one of my favorite authors, but definitely this book has never really interested me, and I think I bought it mainly for the hype. Also, my partner is way more interested in this book. He is a music major, he loves reading, and this book has music and books, is music in a book. So I think he'll like this more. I'll be sending this to him for him to read, and maybe if he really likes it, we buddy read a lot of books, or like he gets me to read a lot of books. So if he ends up liking it, honestly, I might pick this up in 2021. This video could just like be like a whole joke. So the next book that I will not be reading in 2021 is Outlander by Gabaldon. I feel so embarrassed to be showing this because I remember when I first bought this. I'm probably going to put a bunch of clips of myself talking about the books that I'm going to read, roasting myself, but I remember buying this because I had watched like what, 2 episodes of the TV show, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like very very steamy, what I wanted in a book, but this just kind of gives me flashbacks of like reading Game of Thrones, which yes, I read like the first 3 books of Game of Thrones, and while they were good, they were also like traumatizing. It was just too much, and I feel like this book's gonna be the same way. Also, I don't really want to read, how many books are in the series? I don't even know. There's just a lot of books, and do I really have the time to set aside for like more than 3 books? I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna give this a good new home. It's a new copy. People are gonna love it. So okay, the next book that I have here is Sex and Vanity by Kwan. I actually received a copy of this book from the publisher. They were super kind to send me multiple copies, so I did a little giveaway on my Instagram, and a lot of people were interested in it. And why I think I accepted it mostly because I was excited to read it at the time. This was like during the summer though, when I was thinking about, yeah, I really want like a flirty rom-com like book or something like that about like the luxurious life, or about like wealth and whatever, but now that it's like winter, my reading tastes have definitely changed from the summer especially. I am no longer really interested. Crazy Rich Asians, I didn't really like love To the Moon and Back, so his writing definitely doesn't sit at like a highest point for me. I'm not in love with his writing. Also, I'm just kind of over like the whole Gossip Girl, or like, you know, talking about like, you know, the lives of wealthy people, like the stories about that. So I don't know, I really wanted to read this book. I just don't think I'll have time for it in the new year, especially with all the new releases coming out that I'm way more excited for. So I thought I would give this new beautiful copy of Sex and Vanity a new home while I'm at it. Okay, the next book that I will not be reading in 2021 is Call Me By Your Name. I don't know why I bought this book. I swear I buy things because of the hype, and I mainly bought this because the movie and everyone was talking about like the film and just how beautiful it was, and then the book, and they were like, oh, it's a book, and I'm way more of a reader than a movie watcher, so I tend to buy books of like TV shows and movies because I want to read the book first, because I am a reader, of course. But this one, I just am not interested anymore for obvious reasons. I've just kind of grown out of that. Like hype, I kind of like bought it initially for the hype, and because I am no longer associated with it, I'm just like, okay, I have no more interest to read this book, but I know that this could also be a really great storyline for other people, so I'm probably just gonna give this book to the little library, see if someone picks it up. It's a really beautiful cover. It's a really great book. I know a lot of people have said that. My friends have told me so. But I'm just not interested in reading anymore. So, okay, so the next book that I have here is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom. I actually never read this book. I know this is a super popular YA book, loved by a lot of popular YouTube booktubers on here. I never got to this. I also have some cool, I don't know where I got these actually, I think maybe at BookCon, but I have some cool like cards. So I will be giving this away to someone who is probably in like middle grade or like reading young adult now. I'm just not reading that anymore. Okay, and the final book that I will not be reading in 2021 is Strange the Dreamer by Laini, which is super sad because I spent a buttload of money purchasing this like like dusted pages blue copy with like a whole box of stuff, and I'm kind of sad because I spent a lot of money on it because of the hype. I also have 2 copies of this book because I thought I would read it, and I think I got the other copy for free though, I don't know. But anyway, I have 2 copies of this book. I'll be giving this beautiful one away because I think I'll just keep the paperback in case. Still not reading in 2021 though. Kind of over high fantasy, especially this one. I read Laini Taylor's like other series before and I could not understand a thing. That's just me. I was also a young reader, but I'm just not interested in this anymore, so thought I'd give it a new home. Someone could get this beautiful, expensive book. Anyways, those are all the books that I will not be reading in 2021. Leave a comment down below if I should save any of these. Vouch for your favorites, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the new year. Bye!